Oh wait, time out.
Okay. Time out. Do.
Recording live from somewhere. It is the world's famous TITT, home team in the motherfucking house.
No question.
It is I, Davis Backwards, and who state your name, gangsta?
Philmatic 365, aka Chris Childish. What's good?
What's poppin', man? We have a special guest here that will be rocking out with us today. He actually was on one of our early episodes a couple years ago. We are honored to have him back in a guest host capacity. Say what's up to the homie Jab, everybody. What up, Jab?
Yo.
What up, family?
T-shirt and tape family. Philmatic vibe. What's going on, bros?
What's going on, man?
Already.
So this is definitely an honor and a pleasure to be here, rocking out. Of course, courtesy of the War Room Sports Podcast Network. Always giving a shout out to the generals there, the War Room, the Burtons doing their thing on John Appetit, Broad Street Line. Got some major things going on, man. Phil.
What up?
Last episode, we talked to Sky Zoo.
Yes.
He gave us an amazing amount of time, just in terms of just being very generous and gracious, not only just with the amount of thought that he put into his answers, but just the amount of time, like I just said, that he gave to us for his second time on the show, man. You know, he joined in Razcast, joining one of his homies, Torre.
Yeah. Mickey Fax.
So
and Jab up here. This
that's where I was going.
Two time.
That's where I was going. Exactly. So Jab, you a good couple.
I want to say the honor's all mine, man. I appreciate you guys inviting me. And then Skyzoo, y'all did a great job with that last episode. I checked it out too.
Word.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate that, man. We definitely want people to know that Peddler Themes is in stores, so you can definitely check that out on wherever you get your digital music. Please, whatever you got to do, check it out. Phil, let's get into it, man. It's been a couple weeks since we did a live episode. We got a lot to talk about. Man, there's been all types of hurricanes and calamities and stuff like that. So we definitely want to send a shout out to everyone out there in Florida, everyone out there in Barbuda, Barbados, Puerto Rico, Haiti, Dominican Republic. I mean, just everyone out there in the Caribbean, as well as, even our people that are just getting over what happened a couple weeks ago in Houston, Louisiana.
Absolutely, man.
It's just, man, that eclipse happened, man, and things just went left.
Shout out all my folks in Houston.
Absolutely. Same here, man. My step pop out there and all the people I've been talking to, man. It's so sad, man. Been working with these people trying to get them some type of relief on their mortgages and just some of the stories, man. Mm-hmm. Like having dude said he had water in his cabinets where his dishes were.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're talking about 5-6 feet, man. It's crazy.
I mean, it's almost surreal, bro. I've been, following just like everybody else on TV and different news and media outlets, and it's just like to see places I used to drive down the street where it's like my car wouldn't work. I would actually need a boat. It's just like mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really crazy.
Yeah, man. Just to see a boat in a residential neighborhood like that is kind of surreal. Seeing it, so I can only imagine living it.
The area where I used to stay off in the medical center off 288 in the Holly Hall, I was told was underwater. So it's just like, man, just prayers out and everybody be safe and recover as soon as possible.
Yeah, one of the best things that we saw was people giving out a helping hand. Of course, everyone's familiar with the efforts that NFL star JJ Watt has put together. Kevin Hart, Chris Paul, they definitely went out there, showed love. James Harden, being the guy out there in Houston. Beyonce, of course, and Trey the Truth, man. He's a guy who despite his reputation with the local radio station that's out there, he is truly banned from the radio, just based off of, just some of the things that have gone on with him. But Trey is a guy that just doesn't pull any punches. He's as real as it gets, as respected as it gets. And he has been out there. I mean, speaking of boats, he was out there, like, seriously, like rescuing people.
You talking about Trade the Truth, right?
Trade the Truth, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just rescuing people in boats, and he collaborated with Beyonce. That was a nice thing that happened on Friday, where he was able to do that. So again, man, we love to see people contribute and give back, and we have people that we know that are doing some things, and we're definitely in the business of also giving back too. So we're going to be doing some things ourselves, because it doesn't just stop, a day, a week, 2 weeks, right, Phil? Like, I mean, these things go on for
it's hurricane season, and it's months at a time, man. Like they can just form out of seemingly nowhere and make their way. But while you were giving some props, I did want to give a props to one of the companies I did a lot of business with, Dell, man, owner of Dell Computers. He donated $30 million. Like,
wow,
just serious. So that cannot be overlooked. That from what I understand, that might have been the single biggest donation from one individual. So definitely shout out to him. Yeah, Michael Dell, and JJ Watt, his things, like, I think at 36 million. He's
his original goal was 200,000.
Yeah, so that's what's up, man. So and if you can donate whatever it is, if you on the love and hip hop chick level, you could donate $30. I mean, go ahead. If you on another level and you can donate more, just do what you can. It's a lot of people out there down there that could definitely use it. I mean,
yeah, like Michael Blackson said, man, some of you D-list celebrities and Z-list celebrities.
Yeah, he said he took it to Z-list. I was like,
he said everybody but Bobby V. He said, Bobby V, you don't want your money.
Oh man.
And if you're in the Houston area or the Florida areas that are affected, if you can't donate your money, definitely you could donate your time.
Absolutely,
for sure. Shout out to Sky Daniels. She's a friend of the show. She's in our inner circle, and she's someone. If you want to check somebody's IG, or you just want to check what someone's movement is down there, she's out there. I mean, she's been like just incredible out there for the families out there.
Fundraising and getting things moving.
Yeah,
so definitely salute the Sky.
Yes, shout out to her, man. She's doing some wonderful things, and like I said, like she's just a everyday person like us, like just trying to just help, and she's devoted a lot of her time and efforts to it. So shout out to her. That was the most beautifulest thing that we saw, Phil. Just people just giving back, people sending their prayers and thoughts, and then ultimately, just putting a lot of the BS to the side to really concentrate on these parts of the country. So big salute to whole hip hop community for that, for real.
Absolutely.
So we staying here now, we're recording on 9/11. We have a football season that started. We have a lot of people that we respect that are not participating in the NFL boycott. We have a few people that we respect a lot that are participating in it. Jab, what are your thoughts on the boycott that you've seen so far since the season has actually started? Because it's easy to do it during preseason. But once the games start to matter, it's a little bit difficult. What are you thinking about it?
Me personally, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I see both sides of the coin. I definitely think Colin Kaepernick has done some good things and has made headway as far as the whole movement with I think a lot of these other sub movements have derived from. But to keep it totally honest, me as a football fan, football has always been my favorite sport. I mean, me personally, I'm not boycotting. I still watch the games, play fantasy football, as you both know. But I'm definitely following, and like I said, props goes out to Colin Kaepernick and all the other people affected. You know, I hope he does definitely get a run this season. I feel like he's better than a lot of backup quarterbacks and even some starting. So, you know, maybe hopefully he'll get a run this season. We'll see.
Phil, I know how you feel. Much like Jav, football is your favorite sport, affectionately known as Mr. NFL around these parts. You got the you know, the Niners paraphernalia all in the back, but man, how did you feel? Like I said, you know, some people that we respect are boycotting, some people that we respect are not. You respect both sides of the fence. Where you stand right now?
I mean, we talked about it before. You can only know what's your limit and what's your level. I, like you said, I respect everybody's decision to either watch or not watch. You know, but the bottom line is we have to continue to not be silent about things that are going on, even because even outside of football, life is bigger than sports. So we have to continue to push and let people know what's going on. So I think that's the biggest thing. But as far as football goes, I think just seeing yesterday, because I did watch the games. As Jad pointed, there's so many quarterbacks in the league that are not better than Colin Kaepernick. Several actually started, and I got to see it with my own eyes. The Colts quarterbacks, our quarterback. You know, there's a lot to be desired, and but you already know what it is. I mean, we've went over that ad nauseum. You know, they've made him he's going to be the martyr for this movement. He's going to be the face of it. Because it's always funny, man. When you always see the picture of him kneeling, you always see other players next to him. Eric Reed was next to him, but he is the face. He's the name attached with the movement. And to Vod's point, he said it many times on this show. Nobody associated with the NFL has ever come out and actually talked about why he did what he did. They always talk about the response, but never actually why. So until we start talking about why and start addressing why and doing something about why, it's going to be what it's going to be, man.
Now, Adam Silver, who is the commissioner of the NBA, he publicly took the opportunity to just let the players know, like I said, in a very public fashion, that he is looking forward to them voicing their opinions and making their platforms more visible in terms of, just letting the people know, hey, look, I don't like this. I don't stand for this. And them speaking out for different injustices throughout this upcoming season. We've seen it just during his 3-year tenure so far, LeBron James to Derrick Rose to, a lot of the big name stars have really gone out there and just not been silent about things. It'll be interesting to see what the NBA does. That's my sport.
Right.
But Jab, just speaking of the NBA, I mean, the Sixers, man, last time you were on the show, the Sixers weren't in such a decent spot. Right. I know you're a Sixers fan. Are you excited? The season's only about 5 weeks away. It's kind of crazy.
Man, we've been trusting the process for a couple of years now. And for a person like me, it's been hard because, I have struggles with my patience at times. So, but if everybody can stay healthy, man, I think we're looking good going into the season. And as you mentioned at Adam Silver's point, I want to say that the NBA has always been pretty forward thinking compared to the other North American professional sports. The NBA has always been, I would say, head and shoulders above the rest in terms of, letting the players have a voice and, just not being so closed-minded and
yeah,
self-regulated like the other sports.
Yeah. One thing I am kind of curious about, because the NBA does have in place a rule that says you have to stand for the national anthem. So I'm curious to see like if this was done in an attempt to prevent that from actually happening. So like they're saying like you can protest, but kind of leave the anthem alone. So if somebody chooses to voice their dismay the way Colin did and not stand for the anthem, I wonder how they're going to address that. Are they going to fine them or are they going to let it ride?
I think they're going to use this as a way to say, hey guys, there's so many other creative ways that you can protest besides doing that and drawing attention to the anthem and whatever you're doing. But I mean, as Marshawn has said, Marshawn Lynch, he said, man, I played 11 years. I never stood for the anthem. So he's like, y'all are late, you know, and you know, you saw what happened to Michael Bennett. He's a guy who's, you know, one of the elite defenders in the entire league. And he just told people, you know, what happened to him. Unfortunately, and the video came out earlier last week, you know, on the Las Vegas Strip, you know, in terms of just him being accosted and assaulted and just treated like he was just a piece of meat, you know, out there on the street. So, again, you know, I think this is forward thinking by Adam Silver. He's like, hey, guys, there's so many other ways that you can do this. And then the thing that the basketball players have over football players is that you can actually see their face for the majority of the time that they're on the court. So I think with football, it's like, all right, you have your couple moments. Sure, you can, you know, when you score, you know, when the spotlight is really on you, is like pregame, postgame, and then like during big moments. But the NBA, I mean, it's pretty much, you know, all game. You know, you can wear something on your shoes. You know, you see that. There's not a guy in the league that doesn't write something on his shoes at this point.
Yeah.
So.
It's funny. It's funny to really think about when we was young boys. You couldn't even wear certain color sneakers. Like if your sneakers was the same color as your uniform, they was like, no.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible just to see the advances, and that's the one thing that the NBA has too. Just with social media, you know, and the NFL's trying a little bit, but it's just not the same, man. The NBA just it's really a Twitter. And you see Instagram. It's a
player-driven league.
Exactly.
Yeah, whereas NFL is a team-driven sport, and NBA is player-driven.
So speaking of players, man, we had the biggest player, probably, you know, the MVP emeritus, the hip hop game, JayZ, earlier last week, man. He did his thing.
Right.
And you know, you guys' hometown of Philadelphia, made in America. This is his sixth year doing it. He said this was his favorite festival for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the title stream? How clear and crispy it was, if you ask me, and just the overall functionality of where title is from last year and where it is now.
Where do I start? I mean, to overstate the obvious, we all know the Ho's a genius, and you know, I'm a pretty big JayZ fan. I think he got it right. You know, he took a lot of hits in the beginning when he first started title, in terms of, you know, people gave him the knocks trying to say, okay, you're trying to be like a knockoff, you know, Apple, or, you know, you want to be the next Spotify. But Jay was always forward thinking, like, listen, you know, we create this, we need to own this. So I think that title definitely got it right. I've seen improvements. I remember the first year they didn't even live stream any of them. The second year they only live streamed a few performances. And I think Jay got it right, where this year was the first year they actually live streamed every single stage. And I think they're going to do that moving forward.
Man, that was mean, man.
It was definitely awesome, yo. Like if you weren't a fan of title before this,
you just a hater.
Yeah. Like, cause I was somebody that was a big critic of title, and if you go back and listen to some of the earlier episodes, I think there's still some improvements that need to be made as far as like searching, like little nerd shit that, you know, that I, you know, but as far as the actual quality of the product, it's up there. The sound of it, like we always do this test. If you take any song that's on Apple, on Spotify, and on Tidal, listen to the same song and hear how different they sound without changing the volume on your device. It's light years, even without the hi-fi. I can only imagine what that shit sound like. It blow your clothes off like what you would call them, Italian Job. But No, it's the clarity, and there was no buffering. You didn't have to deal with that on the live streams. They all came through, and it was cool to see all three stages. It felt like you could go back and forth,
Right.
you know. So I got hit to a couple artists I would have never listened to on my own, you know.
Right.
So like couple young boys that I would have never listened to. Just, you know, I was like, oh, okay, kind of fool with them.
I think it was 3 stages, right? The title stage, the freedom stage, and the Rocky Liberty.
Yeah, that was like the main one.
Right. Yeah, the one right in front of the art museum. Like they had a home run. They got it right. You know, like you mentioned the buffering. I remember might have been year 3, even year 4. You know, they had issues with the buffering. But we actually were texting during some of the first performances. I think it was
Rhapsody.
We were texting during, and I mean, I was watching it on a laptop, and I had to step out of the house for a second. When I even had it in a car, like it was coming through crispy on the phone.
Yeah.
Over the audio, so it was just like, whoa, like they weren't playing with this.
Yeah, man, they definitely, that is definitely a game changer, yo. As far as the I can't get over the quality of it, and just being able to really bring you the live show feeling into the house,
right?
You know?
And then just the on demand thing about it too. Now I can go back and watch it. I can go back and, you know, watch my favorite part, or I could rip, you know, if you're so inclined, you could rip, you know, the audio and, you know, make your own MP3 out of it if that's what you wanted to do.
Allegedly.
So, allegedly.
I personally don't know anything about that, but
you're artistic in the tape. That, you know, we do innovative stuff like that sometimes. We improvise sometimes.
Occasionally, maybe might, you know, some audio might fall off the truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But no, but I seriously have to give big props to Jay. Just being a subscriber for the past couple years. I've been loyal to Apple. But here lately, I mean, just some of the things. Yeah, some of the things that Tidal has been doing. I mean, it's really put me in a predicament where I'm just like, yo, I mean, I can kind of just rock off of this and, you know, just be good and, you know, just fill in the blanks here and there. So big shout to them
too. So, you know, I guess I benefited from the best of both worlds.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Apple has its merits, but ultimately, man, we're rocking with, like you said, man, you know, the guy that's proven himself to be a genius, you know, in the booth, and then, you know, now it's looking like just period, man.
Yeah, right. Let me put our podcast on there, big homie.
Yeah, I mean, that's next, right? I mean, seriously. There's a couple things that I wanted to talk about before we actually got into our 4 women segment. I want to do these things just a little bit different since we got Jab here. There was actually like a critical moment that happened in hip hop, and you know, and maybe it didn't get enough publicity, but it was Tribe Called Quest's last performance. And, you know, it's bittersweet. It's definitely something that you kind of understand why, you know, Ali Shaheed and Q-Tip have taken this route. It's just not the same without Fife, but you know, it's 3 guys that really have a lot of love for Tribe Called Quest. I just want to just give us an opportunity to just say what you know, they've meant to us, and just, you know, what that moment actually means just to you. Like, you know, there won't be another Tribe Called Quest performance. Phil, you go first.
You know how we feel about them. That, I mean, arguably the greatest group in hip hop history. There's definitely an argument to be made for that. 2 of the best albums I've ever heard in life have been made by a Tribe Called Quest. You know, Low in Theory and Midnight Marauders, and tons of other favorites. And, you know, Fife was a personal hero, so it's definitely bittersweet. But I understand, much like Run DMC when they lost Jam Master Jay, I definitely understand why it's hard for them to perform without their brother. You know, like, you know, God forbid so it would be, I couldn't do Tissue and the Tape if it wasn't me and you. I mean, like, I would have to go do something else because it just wouldn't feel right. So I mean, and we've been doing this 3 years. Imagine doing it 25.
Right.
You know, so that's, and I can only imagine when his parts of the songs come on and they have to do the lyrics. It's just one of those things, or play the audio over the loudspeaker. I can see it being like just kind of like reliving the loss of their friend and their brother over and over again. And I can see that being, a lot to deal with, So definitely shout out to Ali, Q-Tip, and Jerobi, for holding it down on this last run.
Yeah. Jab, how does that make you feel, man? No more Tribe performances, and basically the end of a career, end of an era has somewhat commenced in front of our eyes.
Right. So before I give my answer, just excuse me my ignorance for just a second, but let me ask the question: when actually is their last performance or their last run?
It actually just happened. They had
Saturday.
Yeah. They had their last one in LA. And then they performed at this thing called Festival.
Wow.
And over the weekend in England, of all places, in Dorset, England.
Wow. So LA, England, and then that's it.
That was it.
Wow. So we just forced YouTube and any other video outlets from now on.
I mean, honestly, I can't watch like Tribe videos without like tearing up.
Right.
So I'm kind of stopped watching them for a minute. But what are you about to say?
I'm gonna be honest. Like when you kind of sent me some pre-production notes and I kind of looked at it. Like I looked at it, but it was just like I glossed over it, and I didn't gloss over it in the fact that like okay, I didn't read. I glossed over it in the fact like nah, I'm not trying to hear that. The self in me is just like that's just like the sun rising and setting. As Phil mentioned, Low End Theory and Midnight Marauders are arguably two of the greatest hip hop albums of all time.
Yeah,
I put them in my top 10, easily.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have another 5 mic album before that. Just when the mics actually meant something.
Right. So many flows, so many styles, so many. Wow, just a lot, man. Like
I know.
Yeah, man.
It's still too new, I guess, for it to have set in on me. But man, shout to Tribe, shout to everybody in the group, shout to Fife, and that's just a part of hip hop history.
It really is. I mean, with this music, like Q-Tip said, like Extra P said, don't say the years. It's supposed to go into infinity. Like essentially, you're not supposed to really feel an end to a career of a musician. It's just supposed to live on, and definitely that's what's going to happen with them.
Right.
But just from the live performance standpoint, and just what Phil and I have talked about this a lot on the show. What could have been, as far as years that may have been lost. It's just tough, to just think about the fact that they won't be performing anymore. But man, they left us a heck of a run for 27 years, man. I mean, we can't ask for anything else as fans.
And I've been at multiple Tribe shows. I'm assuming you guys have too. So I'm gonna just rest on those memories and those times. And
even the album they came out with last year was one of the best albums. Like this, so. Gotta give them credit for that, man. I love those dudes. Never met them a day in my life, but like LL said, no homo. If you ever need a place to stay, you
come around my way.
You can come to my crib, man. All 3 of them. So, man, big shout to them.
All 3, yo. Oh man, like it's so crazy, man. I was looking for, me and Z were about to watch one of them Disney movies or something. Oh, Annie. That's what he was about to watch, Annie. And I'm looking on the shelf where the DVDs are. I see Beats, Rhymes, and Life, and like I was like, it's still like, even like when listening to music in such a hip hop nerd, man, and you hear like one of them opening lines from one of the songs, or you hear those opening notes. Like when the iPod's on shuffle,
right?
It's just you just like, oh man, like
That's a segment within itself, opening tribe lines.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Bo knows this and Bo knows that.
Yeah. I will say this though. When I'm normally playing Title or Elmo when I'm dropping the kids off, but the default CDs that I have in my minivan are the 5, well now 6, are the 6 Tribe albums. So that's just stay on deck.
My daughter's favorite song is "Can I Kick It?" I mean, that's her joint.
So
before we get off the Tribe piece, I'm gonna just take it back to one brief Tribe memory I had. Philmatic, you mentioned Beats, Rhymes, and Life. So I can actually remember when Beats, Rhymes, and Life came out. I'm trying to remember the exact year. I don't know whether it was high school.
95.
High school. Okay, so high school. Bro, one of the most expensive dates I ever went on. I called myself trying to impress this female at the time. I took both of us to see Beats, Rhymes, and Life at like Ritz at the Bourse, bro.
Oh, wow.
So, tickets is probably like 17, 18 a pop. That's just a ticket. That's not the soda, the pretzel, the drink.
Oh yeah, you was going extra hard.
I call myself, trying to get a little meal afterwards.
Whoa.
Shouts to God, man. That was one of my most expensive high school dates, man. Beats, Rhymes, and Life.
I had a couple too. Phil, you had a couple too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But, you live and you learn, man.
Now I saw it more than once, but only did the whole date thing to that extent once. But believe me, I spent a couple dollars on Beats, Rhymes, and Life.
No doubt. Shout to Tribe, man. Salute those brothers, man. Big salute to them.
ATCQ.
For life.
So, Phil, you mentioned hip hop nerd. That's what you are. That's what we are. The hip hop nerd in you especially likes this though. When I say the word EGOT, this is just a smile that comes on your face automatically.
Yeah, man. Cause you already know, man. That's my other love, TV and movies. Yeah, man.
So for those that don't know, the EGOT is when you've completed the what Pac say, quadruple,
quintuple,
platinum. But no, it's when you have an Emmy,
a Grammy,
an
Oscar, and a Tony.
Our man Common is halfway there. Actually,
three-fourths of the way. Got an
he was halfway, and then he just got an Emmy for Letter to the Free that he did for the amazing documentary 13.
Yo, last year was so crazy. We had 2 of the best documentaries ever with the 13 and OJ.
Yeah.
But the 13, like Letter to the Free is powerful one, and it was the perfect way to kind of like encapsulate like everything that Ava DuVernay put together in that story. So shout out to my man Lonnie Lynn, but
he's almost there. I don't know. He might have to get the Hamilton.
Yeah. He might have to be Alexander Hamilton when they Chicago run.
But you know what though? I think he's gonna get it. I don't know how he's gonna craft it.
He's got.
He got to shoot. He got to shoot for it, man. He got to shoot the shot, yo.
He got to do something, man.
I say reach out to Questlove and some other
what's my man named Lin-Manuel Miranda? Like, he got to write something for Common right now. Put
something for Lonnie Lynn together right now.
Yeah, we got to get that for him, man. That's a huge accomplishment.
But damn all that, my man really won because at the
preach.
Yeah. At the Emmy Awards, his date, the beautiful Miss Angela Rye, and they kind of let the cat out the bag, so to speak. That's his brand new lady.
Yeah.
So the good brother Lonnie Lynn is winning in all fields.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm on the Googles right now. The Googles is Google.
You shouldn't have to Google. That should have already been on deck.
No. Just take a gander.
Yeah. We can take a.
This is why I love y'all show. You just let people
boom.
Yeah, you gotta let it rock.
Boom, 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 boom.
Wow.
Yeah. Common. Yeah, that's what Common does, man. You know, he's got a sixth sense for these things.
I'm not mad at you.
Resurrection.
All right.
Listen, fella, looking at this muse, I want to declare right now on this 9/11 of 2017 that Common will, before his career is all said and done, win that EGOT.
Okay.
If this is his muse, he definitely has some
man,
creative juice flowing.
and you already know about her. By like, if they end up having a kid, they're gonna have a black fist as a baby.
No question. No question. Hey,
maybe gonna come out like the black fist emoji. Like,
no, she's definitely in terms of just informing people and giving people a different perspective. She's done a great thing over the past 18 months. I will say she's enlightened a lot of people. If you aren't familiar with Angela Rye, just Google her. Check out some of the things that she said publicly. Some of the things that she's been responsible for. It's been tremendous work. And you know, she's representing herself well, representing us well too. So shout out to her. I said that we were going to talk about our 4 women because that's what we do. We already mentioned one.
Tissue loves the ladies.
We care if don't nobody else care. Ava, keep doing your thing. Ava DuVernay, as Phil mentioned, she's the executive producer of 13, and she's a part of Time magazine. I need to go to the newsstand and get this. Her cover that she has for this is just, I mean, man, stunning, really. So Time magazine is honoring 46 women from Ava to Serena to Oprah, to name a few of some of the ladies of color.
Yep.
And Ava's cover is one of the ones that's being published and sold. Game-changing women that are just being celebrated for just doing things that have been unprecedented. So
they've been listening to the show vibe. So they was like, yeah, let's get on that. Let's get on that tip. Yo, I can say though, I bought Time magazine 4 times in my life.
Okay.
I bought it when Jay was on the cover. I bought it when Barack Obama was on the cover.
Me too.
Colin Kaepernick, and the 4th one is coming up because that'll be the one. But look, when we was talking about this, look what I found, yo.
Yeah, I got that right there too. Yep.
The big homie.
I bought Rock on the cover.
They had me with the Titans.
Yeah.
Speaking of a local woman of color, and definitely, you know, a influential young lady. Monet Davis actually made the cover for one of those 40s.
Yes.
So you know,
she got recognized for being the first to win, to pitch a shutout and win a Little League Series game. So man, big shout out to her.
And she put Kevin Hart on skates in the Celebrity All-Star game.
So big shout out to Ava.
He ended his run of MVP trophies.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, he had to give it up. Someone that we've talked about on this show a lot, but we got to give her her own personal spot just based off of what she's been doing here lately, Philmatic. Teyana Taylor. Some people may just know her from the Fade video, and that's fine. You know what? That's cool. But we know her from doing her thing as essentially kind of like the first lady of good music for Kanye. But you know, besides that, she's just been doing her thing for probably the past 6 or 7 years, just choreographing, modeling, being a tastemaker. She recently became a mother a couple years ago. She's the wife to Amon Shumpert of the Cleveland Cavaliers, but she's a trailblazer, and she's someone that's just amazing. And she ripped New York Fashion Week last week. I mean, she was the talk of multiple shows. So just wanted to give her a shout. And if you have not seen the Fade video, please take some time and just do your Googles and go check that out right now. You won't be disappointed. If you haven't seen it, I don't know what you're waiting for.
Yeah, like who
she won the VMA for that, and that was a no-brainer.
And she wasn't even on the song.
No.
That's what made that joint.
So what you say? Do yourself a favor.
Yeah, do yourself a favor. Like, first of all, when we talk about these ladies, we want for people to go ahead and just click the link or to go check them out. Please don't just let this be your only introduction to them. Do a deeper search. Ebony K. Williams is somebody we want you to know more about. She's actually producing TV. She's producing a documentary that's going to feature the behind story of Eric Garner, who unfortunately lost his life. He's one of the staples when you talk about police brutality. A young man lost his life at the hands of New York Police Department.
She started as a lawyer, right?
Yeah, she started as a lawyer, and then she was basically just like, all right, like people said, like, yo, you should be on TV. No one's ever told me I need to be on TV, and there's a reason why. But when you see her, you're like, yeah, you probably do need to be on TV. Like,
yeah, people need to see you.
Yeah. So she has a radio show, but she also, she has a TV show. And when you hear Fox News, you say, uh-oh. But it's not like your Stacey Dash type of situation like that. Like she's
because you know that when I first saw that, I was like, oh.
Yeah, but you know, Stacey Dash
used to be my ace.
The Stacey Dash type isn't doing a documentary on Eric Garner, and if so, it's about the other side of it. But shout out to Ebony K. Williams.
He was resisting. On the Stacey Dash version.
Right, exactly.
The officers fear for their life.
Oh man, you know it would be crazy like that. And one last lady that we would just like to give a shout out to, she goes by Rafia. She's from the Congo, but I mean the type of music that she's making, she made it to the center stage of Essence Fest 2017, and that's when people really started to take notice. Like, okay, like she's definitely doing her thing.
She killed it, man.
Yeah,
I wasn't familiar with her until you put me on it.
Yeah,
but I have to say she definitely did a thing.
Those are the four ladies that we're talking about.
Last lady as well.
Yeah, so we want everybody to get familiar with Rafia. If you don't know about Ava DuVernay, Ebony K. Williams, or Tiana Taylor, please take some time to do that. Ladies are always killing it, always doing their thing, and they don't get enough love. So yeah, that's what we're here for.
Tissue cares if don't nobody else care.
That's right.
Wait. Before we move on, your title of that Four Women vibe, did that come from Nina Simone?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm following.
Yeah. I know you know.
And for the people, just last but not least, who saw that Fade video, you might want to just go back and refresh yourself if you want to see it again. You know, just for some good work that Tiana put out.
Why not? I mean, there's different angles that you can watch it from.
Exactly. You might learn something new that you didn't see before.
For sure, we're all about the full listen here, and even the full watch too. Shout to
definitely the full watch.
Shout out to On the Couch with the Wilsons.
Shout out to all the people that watched it on mute.
Do that in the Black canon and the Black diaspora.
Yes, sir.
So the Fade video is a video from none other than the most polarizing man in hip hop history. I said it.
In history? Well,
I said it.
Yeah.
I mean, he. There's Suge Knight. There's Diddy.
50.
There's 50. There's Pac.
50 is pretty polarizing.
Yeah,
Once you start to think about things on a household name level, because Phil, again, household name is what
everybody when my mother-in-law knows you by name and or face, household you're a star. You are. It's a household name, yo. When the Mighty Mo,
Offset, not yet. You're getting there, not yet. Kanye West, household name. So that's why we wanted to have Jab on here, because Jab is an aficionado just like us, and he has some pretty strong opinions about the old Kanye, the new Kanye, and everything in between. So we're gonna start by just giving a salute to Ye. for making these wonderful albums. Dropout, Late Registration, and Graduation, and
Beautiful Hot Chocolate, Twisted, Melancholy, Wonderful Lazy Afternoon Fantasy. Yo, for the longest, I could not think of the name of that album. I would call it everything. Now it's just a running joke, but yeah.
But so a lot of people, Jab, I'm gonna start with you, man. A lot of people said,
and I even give a shout out to 808 and Heartbreaks.
Well, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. A lot of people said that Graduation was the start of the new Kanye that we're starting to see now. It's been about a 10-year climb to this point where he just lost his marbles. Where do you think the new Kanye started? Was it after Graduation? Was it during Graduation? Was it later? Where do you start to equate that to Ye?
I think we all might have our own personal take. Where I personally equate the new Kanye was post graduation. I think the new Ye started evolving around an album that we haven't mentioned yet.
I don't know what you speak, sir.
I think around the time that he was dibbling and dabbling with that. Mm-hmm. He also was dibbling and dabbling, with some other things.
Yeah.
Pre that album and pre those other things that he's now associated with for the rest of his life, mm-hmm. he was doing okay.
Yeah. What's your favorite Ye album? Let's just start there.
Whew. Oh man, it's a toss up depending on what type of day I'm having or how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But I would say, oh man, that's even tougher now that you put me in a spot like that. All right, let me do it this way. Ye, my favorite Ye, meaning the old Kanye. I would say my favorite album is probably Late Registration.
Okay.
And then sometime, depending on what type of day, I would say Graduation, but more so Late Registration. And my post-modern Ye, my favorite album since then, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasies.
Okay. Phil, what about you?
As far as the beginning of the new Kanye,
yeah.
I think it was Graduation. I think it was one song in particular, Stronger. I think the success of Stronger, it took him out of that comfort zone of the sped up samples, and it began world music, and that was his third
number one. Previously, he had Slow Jams and Gold Digger.
Yeah, classic soul samples both, and this was his first, out the box hit, and I think that opened up his eyes to like, there's so much more than just these soul records. So that beget everything that came after. So I think, which is why we'll talk about that later. That part of it was like the beginning of the end for me personally as a fan. Sure. But as far as the best album, I agree with Jab. I think it's Late Registration is the best Kanye. It's my favorite Kanye album. It's hard to say it's the best because Graduation. I'm just looking at the track listing today.
There's only a couple misses on there.
I think there's only one miss, honestly.
Drunk and Hot Girls.
That's kind of, to me, that's kind of like Big's Player Hater. Like, it was just one of them, just like kind of one off, like like fun throwaway drinks that he just was like, yo, I'm gonna just do this just to do it. But yeah, man, it was like if you go, I don't think it's his best album, like cohesiveness wise, but Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, every song on there is a major song. But they to me, they don't flow well together as some of the previous albums, but individually those songs are some of the highest level work that he's done. But as a cohesive album, I think is Late Registration.
I have Graduation as my favorite. Just from top to bottom, I felt like he probably did the most honest work. He did it under the circumstances of being a hip hop star and getting the acclaim that he wanted, and then he wanted to take it to another level with the fashion. Obviously, that's a big part of his story. But just the whole thing that came behind it, as far as him, Can't Tell Me Nothing is on there. Champion, one of my favorite Kanye songs, I Wonder. He
Big
just
Brother.
Really, Big Brother. He really did a lot with the, a nice, and the thing about Late Registration with the skits and stuff, it tends to be a little long. Just a little bit. With the skits, it's like,
Yeah. See, to me, they was like the best mix. It was like where he was starting to change, because we Major on there, like that. We Major is like Drive Slow. Even though I wish the remix would have been on there, the one with T.I. on there. Mm-hmm. Even the joints that didn't make the album, the ones that are like on the the European and Japanese version. The joint with
We Can Make It Better.
We Can Make It Better with Common, Talib, Q-Tip, Romfest on there. Like, just like it's so many bangers on that joint. But I did want to ask you guys, do you remember, is Graduation the first time he started referring to himself as JayZ?
Yeah, that's about the first time I remember.
Because I think that's where
the hood love to listen to Weezy and JayZ. Yeezy. Yeah, I did it for the glory. Right. I think so.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
Something. Where are you, Yeezy?
Yeah. So the one thing that happened in the aftermath of, he sold the basically what, 950. He had the challenge with 50-50. It was like, whoever loses has to retire, which was a joke. But he basically did $1 million out the gate. 50 did about 600,000. He made that 600,000 just look so small.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, when you think about now, people go #1 selling 60, 70,000 albums.
But I think the part that we're all basically leading to, as far as the old and new Ye, I mean, there definitely was a turning point in his life. This album came out September 11th, 2007. And he lost his mom essentially 2 months later. Just when he was at the height of his success, in the creative process of rolling out the album even more. And he lost basically someone that we knew to be, his best friend. She
was his rock, literally and figuratively. I think she's the one that held him down. She kept him grounded. She kept him, like, for all intensive purposes, sane. Just as normal as you can be when you're one of the most famous people in the world. Yeah. And losing his mom, I think he lost that. I think he lost his way, in a sense. So he just kind of like threw himself into the music and he threw himself into fame. Like, if you look at him before his mom passed away and after, he almost seems like a totally different person. And it could have just been the evolution in the path that he was on anyway. Mm-hmm. But that can't be coincidence. That I'm sure that was more than we'll ever know. That was such a huge factor in the person that we see now versus who he was prior.
So besides Graduation, if we just talk about him as a whole, Jab, what are some of your favorite Kanye songs if you had to make a list? Do you have a list?
I definitely do have a list. What I wanted to say is the reason why, number one, I'm definitely honored that you fellas invited me on this particular episode is because, while we do know the greatness of Ye, I think at sometimes we probably don't appreciate the greatness just because he's such a polarizing figure. And depending on what side of the coin you fall on, whether it's pre-Ye or post-Ye, sometimes it kind of influences the way you used to feel about him. So the reason why Ye is so important to me is he's actually the first rapper. Now, like I said, I was a Jay fan. I was a really big Biggie fan. During my high school years, I was a big Nas fan. But Kanye was the actual first rapper where I could relate to him to the point where I was like, you know what? that's me, or I'm him. I could relate to just like the backpack rapper. He wasn't talking about, you know, selling drugs or doing this or being a kingpin, you know, or shooting somebody or being a thug. Like I could relate to Kanye in terms of just being a regular cat with, you know, just out of this world musical skills, even before we knew that he was going to be that great of a rapper. I'm even talking about when he was just at the producer stage. Like Kanye was the first guy to make it seem like, okay, if you work hard, you know, you actually can do what I'm accomplishing right now. So it's like, that's why he's so important to me. Nice. That's why I was such a big proponent of him. And even during the times where he's done things that, you know, he's kind of fallen out of favor with me, it makes it so hard because that's how much I used to like him. And I still do, but like, you know, it's just different. But in answering your question, yes, I can talk about some of my top Kanye songs. I just wanted to say that, you know, before I went into my list.
Yeah.
I want to just start with my favorite Kanye song of all time. You know, I've been a Kanye fan since even before College Dropout. I've been a Kanye fan since the mixtapes when I was, you know, down school in Atlanta and my Chicago homeboys, my homie Kane and my homie Hebrew Brantley used to bring Chicago mixtapes every you know, break, whether it was
shout out to Hebrew Brantley.
Shout out to Hebrew Brantley.
Got some of his art on my walls.
Right? Whether it was Christmas break or summer break. But I think my favorite Kanye song of all time is definitely Can't Tell Me Nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as that beat hits, like it just, to this day, I still lose my mind.
Yo, we talked about this at numerous times of like in our chat with the three of us. Even right before the show, we was talking about it. Just some of the crazy stuff that Ye says on that joint. What did he say, Jab? That we was like, yo, even though we knew he said it, just like really just breaking it down.
Hold on, I gotta start it off just to hear it for a second. My money, right?
Yeah.
There it is. Like Phil and I were talking before you got in the line or whatever. We were just saying how, like, you know, just things that Ye says it just makes you go wow. Now we know that this album came out in 2007, and we've probably heard this song 1,000 times. I was telling Phil, it just sunk in that Ye said, "I told God to hold on for a second."
Yeah.
How do you tell God, give me a second?
Yeah.
Hold on, God. Literally.
Podcasters out there, you know, podcast fans of Tissue and the Tape, and, you know, other podcasts like Drink Champs. He basically, Ye told God to relax. Like, relax.
Yeah.
Like only a man with an ego of Kanye proportions would even not only think something like that, but actually voice it and put it down on wax.
That's crazy.
Yo. And then like some of like his bending of the English language. We talked about on it. Apologizing is one of the greatest things ever. Trying to make apology rhyme with collagen. Yo, it's in the apologizing. He said
it with such confidence too.
Yo, he said it where you had to think, like, yo, that maybe I've been saying it wrong all these years. Yo, and of course we talked about with Sky Zoo. You know, he made a famous reference to it, lifting up the suicide doors.
Yeah.
This is my life, homie. You decide yours.
Right.
And of course,
suicide doors go out, not up.
Yeah, and but yo, it to the point where people were getting on Sky because he pointed it out. They were mad at him.
Yeah,
because he was like, I was just, you know, he was like, I'm a fan of Ye, but it was just the point that they don't go out. they you know, they don't go up, they go out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
You know, but it's just it was the power of the song, and you know, with the conviction in which he said it, to where you really like, yeah, they do go up.
Jab, you got other joints on your list?
Yeah. What do I have on my list? Jesus Walks is definitely one of my all-time Kanye songs. I mean, that's the first time I actually heard a rap on major radio stations and in the club played 7 times in a row, where, you know, it actually referenced Jesus. Through the Wire, it's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
Crack Music. Diamonds or Diamonds remix. You know, those are, I would say off the top of my head, you know, 5 of my favorite Ye songs. If I could pick one more just for conversation to make a 6th, wow, it's so hard to just choose just one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's tough, right?
It's tough when you know, I'm gonna say this. I don't even know if I'll be able to say a 6th, but I might have some honorable mentions. But just for the purpose to keep the conversation going.
Yeah, do it Phil style and just throw like 11 more songs on there.
Wow. Barry Bonds. Flashing Lights.
Yeah, Flashing Lights.
Yo, Barry Bonds is difficult for me, man, because every time I hear the beat, I hear Drake absolutely murdered that joint. Like I think I might even heard that before I heard Ye's actual song.
You said Drake murdering Barry Bonds?
Yeah, it is a freestyle where he destroys Barry Bonds.
I don't think I heard that.
I'll send it to you. It was when Drake cared about the bars. Look, did I say that? I don't know.
Watch it.
We'll play that right
there.
Yeah.
But Ye got busy on Barry Bonds, man.
He did.
Yeah.
Shout out to Weezy. Weezy got busy.
We out of here, baby.
He did. Let me give mine real quick, and then Phil, you give yours real quick. When it comes to top Ye joints, Spaceship, I Wonder, Last Call.
Last Call was so fire.
Yeah, I mean, just
the creativeness on that joint.
Yeah, I mean, those are top ones for me as far as kind of the obscure joints. I love anytime I hear Touch the Sky. That's up there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's an amazing song.
Just Blaze, Kanye, and Lupe. Like, what can you do with that? With the Curtis Mayfield sample.
As a matter of fact, that's what made me send y'all the text. Like,
right.
Yeah,
right.
And they played it when Obama became the president. Yo, like the fact that when the first time he became the president, when it was like, you know, like amazing, they were playing Touch the Sky. Yo.
Now that at the end, that Sky High, that's just that's next level stuff. And then I mean.
On post-production, Phil, you won't have to throw some of those sound bites in.
Oh, you already. You already know, man. I was gathering some stuff before we got on the joint. Like, I'm gonna throw this on. The hardest part is gonna be trying to figure out what to leave off.
To the day I die, I'm gonna touch the sky. Like, who says it? That's the type of stuff I'm talking about.
Universal, please don't take this down. I'm asking.
and Flashing Lights definitely has to go up there too. I have to put that if I had to come up with 5 just off the top of my head. Flashing Lights. And so what about you, man?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, what was you about to say, Jad?
No, when Vi just mentioned Flashing Lights, you're talking about visuals and black women. I just got the visual of Flashing Lights.
Man,
old boy, ugly face before ugly face emoji.
Yeah.
Yo, Ye always had some. He had what was the chick name? She was like, she probably wasn't the first one, but she's the first girl I remember that I knew. She bought her ass. Angel. What was her name? Lola Love. In the video. The Good Life.
Oh, you're talking about the Eritrean or Ethiopian joint.
Yeah.
What was Shorty's name in Flashing Lights?
I don't remember her name.
I shed a tear first time I seen her in that.
Phil, what you got?
I got of course Can't Tell Me Nothing. That I think that's kind of unanimous for the three of us. Diamonds remix. I love that sample because I'm as a James Bond fan, I love the song anyway. Drive Slow remix, the version that has T.I. on there. We Major, like I always wish they could have got like he originally wanted to have Nas and Jay on there, but they wasn't there yet. They wasn't all the way cool yet. But We Major is just such an amazing song. Even just like the little ad libs when he be shouting out Tony Williams. and that might be the longest hook ever, like to where he literally ran out of breath doing the hook. Through the Wire.
Yeah.
And one of my all-time favorites, even though it's not really a song, Everything I Am, but the live version that he did on SNL, where he messed up, and so he started freestyling.
Okay.
Which was just amazing. He's like, he even mentioned, he's like, I just messed up my verse live TV, like damn. And then he just started freestyling off the top of the dome from the Shy, that's where I call home. And it was so ill that when I did my best of Kanye mix, I don't even put Everything I Am on there. I make sure that version's on there. Of course, like, you know, you can't do it on like the official playlist, but like my personal playlist that I do, I always throw that version on there. So that was like one of my joints. And then one other Ye song that because I just love the sample, The Joy, and I love his bars on there are hilarious but dope. And one more vibe, because it's the fill list. And I wish they would have made a video for it. The Power remix, where they got the Swiss Beats saying they sample Snap, I Got the Power. That joint those are some of Yeezy's best bars in my opinion too. Power remix was that work.
Yeah. I mean, what more can we say? The influence of the album definitely ushered in the next era of guys, like you mentioned, Drake rhyming over it. The huge influence he had.
So many little Yeezys, yo.
I mean, from, you know, the emergence of Kid Cudi a couple years later from it, you know, to Travis Scott, like you see the family tree of which Ye put together. And even Wayne with his rock star style, you know, just with the auto tune and everything that came from Stronger and Daft Punk. And it just, at least if you ask me, you guys can chime in and just say what it means to you. But I think it redefined, like there weren't any boundaries to a blockbuster album anymore. Like when we thought of blockbuster, we think of Life After Death, or you thought about, you know, Hard Knock Life. And they all sounded like traditional rap albums, you know, give or take, you know, a song here and there. Phil, like you said, player hater. But yeah, Ye just opened it up. He said, yo, like, to be a superstar in hip hop, it doesn't have to be boom bap. You know, I can have a soul sample here. I can have a techno sample here. I can have this funk sample here. Like, it was just all over.
And he made it work.
And it just all worked. Jab, what do you think about the influence of the album?
Which album are we talking about particularly?
Graduation.
Like you said, I mean, he actually, I'm about to say a pre-pause and a post-pause. He blew the top off of it, you know. He definitely made, you know, whatever you want to do, cool. But he does it in such a way whereby it's authentic. It's timeless. I think we always can listen to Graduation. It's 10 years now. We can listen to Graduation in another 10 years and probably still feel the same way about it that we feel now. Like you said, I think he just, you know, he just spread out the he just spread out his creative thought, and he just made, you know, he just made a timeless piece of music.
Phil, what do you think, man? Like Jab said, as far as there being boundaries, he really stretched the limits and I mean made it almost boundless, right?
It definitely. I think even though I don't particularly for my personal taste, I don't care for the song, I recognize the importance of Stronger. I can't stress enough how important that song was, because it took a particular sound and made it hip hop. And you know, that's always been hip hop's thing, to take, you know, other sounds and samples and bring them into the fold. But he took Daft Punk's, you know, which was already a hit song, you know, and a sound, and made it into his own thing. And he actually brought them new fans. He brought them to a crowd of people that weren't familiar with him. But I think also important on this I think Graduation was the album that established Ye as an MC. Like on Late Registration, you started to figure out, yeah, he can rap. But I think this one, it was like, all right, yeah, it's not a fluke. Like, I don't know if he had writers or whatever, but for the sake of this, I'm going to say, if he wrote these, this is his best work, MCing wise. Like when you listen to like Champion, Can't Tell Me Nothing. Like we already talked about, like just like the audacity on there, Barry Bonds. But the different styles. Flashing Lights is another hugely important song on this album too that I mentioned, because it gave it that. Flashing Lights is right before Everything I Am, and it takes you into like his world. So he gives you flashing lights, then he tells you, yo, this is everything I'm not, but everything I'm not made me everything I am. And it's kind of like, yo, all this encompasses who Kanye West is. He gave you like every different kind of style on the album. He gave you bars, he gave you, techno dance, he gave you a chill summer song in The Good Life, the talk shit song with Can't Tell Me Nothing, the introspective joint with Big Brother. So he covered like all the bases, the feel good song with The Glory. I mean, it's a complete album. I think it's, definitely an all-time great. Now,
I don't know who's listening that's a fan of animated movies like me, but I personally, the things that have been coming out of Illumination Studios, the Minions, Despicable Me 1, 2, 3. In particular, there's a movie that came out recently called Sing. And obviously it kind of gives you an idea of what it's about. But there's one particular part in the movie. They're playing all types of different songs and covering songs from all genres. But they open, spoiler alert, they open each show with Kanye's Flashing Lights. And the first time I watched that, like I was on the edge of my seat when that beat first dropped. And to watch it like that, like I was like, yo, this is amazing. Like for it to be, and it wasn't like just like a little like snippet of it. Like he like basically played like the whole build up to it in a major blockbuster kids movie like that. I was like, wow, this dude. I was like, this nothing this dude's music, can't do. Like it can be played in this type of arena. It can be played in the clubs. It can be played in the parties, like pool parties. Like
there's lullaby versions of Kanye West songs. Like literally lullaby versions. One of the songs I used to put Z to bed to was Champion.
Yeah.
It's a lullaby version of Champion. So like, yeah, dude's music is amazing. And you hear it on commercials. Kia, as a matter of fact, they use The Good Life.
Yeah.
I want to say in their commercial.
Yeah. So before we just move on towards the end of the show, 10 years, this album has aged great. It's probably aged as good as any album that came out 10 years ago when you start to think about what came out around that time. Jab, what do you think we'll be saying about this album 10 years from now and when it's 20 years old?
I think it's saying the same thing. It's a classic. It's timeless. We could put it in a time capsule. 1,000 years from now, 100 years from now, and they'll be like, wow, man, this dude named Kanye West was special. Phil had, touched a point on, like he said, he covers so many ranges on the album. Like, with The Good Life is aspirational. I actually can remember The Good Life video with T-Pain, and that was when T-Pain was on everybody's song. But he took what T-Pain was doing and even made it, doper and made it fit into Kanye's pocket. Another point that I wanted to piggyback on what Phil said is we knew he could rap. College Dropout, he had some hot lines. Late Registration, he was taking notice. But Graduation was like, listen, to all you rappers and your favorite rapper, I'm here to stay. I'm a problem. I'm somebody you have to deal with. Because remember back to when you guys mentioned when 50 gave him that challenge to keep it 100. You know, when 50 came through with his first couple of albums, you know, the second time around, when he was basically everywhere, people thought that 50 was going to, you know, basically win. There were some people that weren't giving Ye a shot. They knew Ye could rap, and they knew Ye was, you know, growing to be a celebrity, but they didn't really think that Ye could make an album that we would actually not even think about 50 for those, you know, the year or two after the album came out. So when Graduation came out, Ye put a stamp on it. All those years he was trying to get, you know, Jay to get, you know, get attention. Like, dude, I'm a problem. You know, the Dames, I'm a problem. Anybody that you like in rap. When Graduation came out, you had to consider Kanye in your top 5. And, you know, for me, that's when it solidified for me. Another point I wanted to make before we move on is, and mind you, if you put our ages together or even our hip hop knowledge together, you might even have almost 100 years of hip hop on this on this podcast right now. In my opinion, Kanye is the first rapper that actually came with 5 classics in a row. Ooh. I don't even think Jay has done it. And I might get some argument from my man Philmatic. I don't even think Nas has done it. Philmatic has a lot of jokes currently for who I like as far as Drake. Even Drake hasn't done it. Kanye is the first rapper who came out with 5 certified classics in a row, and I don't know if we'll ever see it again. That's why it's, you know, sometimes it's so hard for me to kind of see what space he's in there.
Yeah,
because I don't even know that Ye can even make the type of music that we heard on those first 5 joints out.
I'm gonna say something, and if y'all tell anybody, I'll deny it. He has 6 classics in a row. I can't stand 808s and Heartbreaks, but I can recognize there's way too much influence. There's way too many people. There's way too many copycats of that sound for it not to be a classic. It's not for me at all. Nothing about it. Except for, you know, Drake boosting whatever the song that he took in Bird in
Say What's Real.
Say What's Real, yeah. But 808s and Heartbreaks, I never need to hear it, but I know
I'm about to listen to that tonight.
you knock yourself out, Chief. But I know for me personally, I never need to hear it ever again in life. Mm-hmm. But I can acknowledge that it is a classic album. So you go College Dropout, Late Registration.
We kindred spirits, because I was just getting ready to say that so we could capture it for the podcast. I know we as hip hop aficionados know these, but I wanted you to actually name these albums so everybody can know.
Yeah, College Dropout, classic. There's not even Late Registration might be his best album that he did. Graduation, if Late Registration is not the best, is Graduation. Then you got 808s. You know, not for me, but definite classic. Then you come right back around next time out. That's Beautiful Hot Chocolate Dark Twisted Fantasy. That's 5, right?
You got Graduation.
Huh?
Did you forget Graduation?
No, I said Graduation, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
yeah, you had that as 3, right? Yeah, that's the 3rd one.
Yeah, that's 3, and then 808s, and then so that he had 5.
Watch the Throne.
And then Watch the Throne.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably.
Yeah, I mean, Watch the Throne is kind of on the fence, but there's definitely a classic 2 classic singles maybe, but definitely one. You know, Niggas in Paris is a certified classic.
Yeah.
No Church in the Wild. You know.
Yeah.
So Otis. I mean, there's some.
That's waiting for we're going to deny. You said you were going to deny something, Phil. I'm waiting for that part of the convo.
Those joints after Hot Chocolate Fantasy. No, man. No, I don't care what nobody says.
Talking about Pablo, man. Pablo is dope, man.
Jesus in Life of Pablo? No, fam.
All right, so listen, Jesus is
no
is a coaster as far as I'm concerned. But
cop your shit now. I break weed up on it.
Pablo has some joints on there. I don't listen to it just because it's hard to listen to it all the way through. I don't think you can listen to it that way. But he has some moments on there. But I mean, the way he came out the bat swinging 5 albums in a row, I think your Nas's, your Jay's, your Eminem's, I think your Wayne's, everybody had to say
Jay might be the closest because I know people poo-poo on Volume 1. Volume 1 was amazing.
Volume 1 was fire, but I still don't think he came with 5 classics in a row.
All right, so let's bust it down. Reasonable Doubt. All right, we already know.
Triple.
Volume 1. Volume 2.
Volume 2, I'll give you classic. And Volume 1 was dope, but I don't know if all the heads.
But it's not a classic in the traditional sense. But when you think about how the albums actually age, that's Streets is Watching. That's A Million and One Questions. That's Where I'm From. That's You Must Love Me.
I'm in agreement with you. I'm just saying, as far as the argument goes,
I mean, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, those are songs that he performs. Like.
But here's the difference, though. What makes it more special, which I think you're forgetting for a second. Jay's considered a rapper. Ye was considered a producer. So for a producer to put out that form of music at that quality is just like, to me, is just unbelievable.
Well, I mean, being that he was a producer, the music should be quality, if nothing else. And
right, but the rhymes not necessarily. The the rhymes.
And then you also got to think about with the era that we were in, where music lyrics were becoming less and less and more important as those albums. Every year that those albums came out, in the grand scheme of things, lyrics became less important. Like not to us specifically, but just to the mass public. So I mean, I get what you're saying though. I mean, yeah, because yeah.
So I mean, when I hear stuff like Jesus and when I see these stunts that he pulls now, it's just like it's a little painful at times, bro.
I think my biggest problem with Ye is I think that he forgot that he was Kanye West. And what I mean by that is that he started following the people
who follow him.
Life of Pablo sounds more like a Travis Scott album than it does a Kanye West album. And that's a problem for me as a Kanye West fan. That's a problem.
And he started losing me with the overproduction. Like,
what's the face for, son?
How many Travis Scott albums you listen to, Phil?
I've actually listened to 2.
Like fully listened to.
No, because everybody was saying dude's a genius and agree. This is one of those 808 situations where he is a genius level talent. His music is one of the most difficult things that I've ever done in my entire 38 years of life. And listening to music, was trying to listen to that shit.
Come on, man.
I'm serious, y'all. It was like listening to like Silk the Shocker or something. Like trying to listen to the whole thing all the way through. I was just like,
I can't give Travis Shook the Shocker, but I can't.
Come on, man.
That's how bad it was for me to try to listen to the Travis Scott album. It was just I couldn't do it, man.
It's like, but like you said, Ye spawned all those guys.
Yeah, it would be like you trying to act like your kids, yo. Like why? Like don't try to be like your sons. Your son's supposed to be like you. Like that's.
But if I'm trying to fit in at preschool, why I can't act like myself? I gotta act like my kid.
But that's the problem. You don't fucking fit in at preschool. You're the
right. But
you gotta bring.
You can't tell him that though. Like who's doing all the streaming? Like you still got Kanye West fans, but ooh. Where do I pick up his new CD at? It's like no, that's not who he's trying to. That's not who he's trying to make music for.
But his big brother should be the example. The big homie was able to do the impossible, which is make a grown man album and make people who don't generally listen to grown man rap appreciate it and find and make it accessible to them. So
he's not at that stage yet. He's 40 and his big brother is 40 what?
48,000.
48, about to be 40. 40,000. Yeah, rap year, he's 40,000.
They got one of them Dominican Republic birth certificates, yo. He might he might be 57, yo, on the low though. We love you, Hov.
Yeah, but no, all in all though, I mean, I think we've definitely covered at least what we wanted to in terms of talking about graduation, talking about Kanye's influence. I just wanted to get everybody's last thought just in terms of just what the future holds for him. So he's been fairly quiet. 2017, we saw him pop up at Trump Tower. We see him with the blonde hair. We see him, doing less berating of the. Because remember, he was on a little streak where he was about like, yo, this dude's gonna kill one of these paparazzi dudes one day. Like
he was KOing.
So he's gotten to the point where he's pretty quiet in the news for that type of stuff. He's been working on his Yeezy Boost stuff and Adidas and all of that. What do you think's gonna happen in 2018 for Kanye West? Jab, start with you.
Wow. Honestly, that's a tough question. I really don't know, considering that his influence is so great, and it seems like as he develops, he's further away from the music and he's gotten more into fashion. I'm cool in the fashion line. I think he can just chill on that and X that out all of the way. But as far as the Adidas
Walking Dead clothes.
I mess with the Yeezys. I don't have any personally, just because I just don't have any. I'm kind of lost when it comes to the raffles and the things of that nature. But I can see how a whole nation, a world, a country is following his pulse. What I want for 2018 from Kanye is some more music, but not just regular music. I want one more. If I knew that all we were going to get is one more dope Kanye album, I need him working on that, and I need that coming out in the next 2 years.
There you go. Phil, what about you, man? 2018, what does the future hold for Yeezy?
All I want is good music, man. That's all I want. I mean, I know we're gonna get the Walking Dead clothes. I know we're gonna get that. More Yeezy boosts. Before I say, I have to say, like, yo, he does not get enough props for resurrecting Adidas.
I agree.
Adidas was on life support, literally. But with the combination of the dudes leaving Nike and taking they master tapes to the Prestos and turning them into the Yeezy Boost. I mean, whatever the Boost technology, and Kanye West's name and out there sense of fashion. The combination of those two things have resurrected Adidas to where they actually, for the first time, and I think it was like 15 years, took market share from Nike. Right. So that in and of itself, he needs to be recognized for. I don't give a shit about none of that. I'm here for the music, much like Jab. I just need him to make good music. Music that for an old fella like me that I can rock to. I need him and Hov to kiss and make up.
Yeah, I forgot to say.
Because I believe they were genuinely friends, and it seems like, I mean, we don't know all the ins and outs, but it seems real trivial why they're not cool right now. So I would definitely like to see that happen. Jay said all it is a conversation. So Yeezy doesn't seem like just a one conversation dude. He seems like, he gets in his feelings, so they might need to have like a all out powwow and hug it out. But yeah, so I guess I want good music, and I want the throne back, yo.
2018, I see a Kanye album. I see him headlining Made in America in Philly. So get your tapes ready.
I thought he was going to come out by when Hov when he brought Meek out.
Yeah.
I thought
but that's fine though. That's cool.
No, that was fire. That was dope when he brought me.
we got some moments. We got
like
some moments
33 seconds.
Yeah.
I thought Ye was coming out.
With this Jay tour that's coming up, we got some moments for them to reconcile, for them to do some big things. Jay's got some tricks up his sleeve, I'm sure.
The LA show, maybe the Chicago show.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Just in terms of just, who knows? I think that's on the horizon, but ultimately, the album Made in America, and then I need another tour, man. Like he ended the Pablo tour so weird, and I've been to every tour that he's had so far, and that was probably the weirdest experience I had. It was a good idea, but it was just kind of odd. So I'm looking for more.
Now, Vi, you made his show. Tour. You made his show for the last tour, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't make it. He canceled that Philly show. So
yeah, he canceled. It was weird, man. It was like watching somebody watch a concert because we weren't in the pit because we're old.
Right.
So it was just weird, but it was a good concept. But it was a little just too out there. I think he wasn't in his right mind. You could tell.
Right.
Jazz.
So
sour taste in my mouth, but like you said, I need him to bring it back and
got to reel it back in.
Did you go to Glow in the Dark, Jazz?
You know what? That was one that I missed, and I'll always be salty for the rest of my life. What the heck was going on?
Me and Vi were in the building for Glow in the Dark on Mother's Day. It was the first Mother's Day after his mom passed away. Wow. And I'm telling you, it was one of the craziest things ever because it was raining, and it was raining so crazy that they thought they might cancel it. Some of the props didn't work, like for Lupe and some of the earlier acts. Uh-huh. All Yeezy's all his props and stage shit didn't work. But as soon as he came out, it literally stopped raining. Wow. I have the picture. I'm gonna post the picture of the ponchos that me and the champ had on. We were soaked.
Where'd y'all see it?
At the Virginia Beach Amphitheater.
Okay, so it was an outside show.
Yeah. We were covered, but the rain was coming in sideways because the wind was blowing so hard. Soon as he got up there, the rain stopped. It was the craziest thing ever. And it was one of the best performances I ever seen. Like he did the extended version of Hey Mama. Yo, it was a lot of eye sweat and onion cutting in the house.
I bet.
Yo, and then Watch the Throne. Saw that with my wife and my sister in Atlantic City.
That's still the best concert I've ever been to in life. I saw Watch the Throne in Philly.
I saw Michael Jackson on the Victory Tour. Now, granted, I was 6, but
I did JFK Field. It was raining back then.
Yeah, we was in the house together. Yeah.
House.
But Kanye West, Watch the Throne was amazing, yo. Like that joint was crazy because the energy. Like I never thought I could sit through 11 them playing the same song 11, 12, 15 times and enjoy it each time I heard it. It was like I bawled so hard all night long, yo. It was amazing, yo.
Yeah, I think he gave us niggas in Paris 5 times. He did it during a set, and then he ended, doing it maybe like 5 more times. So no, he did it once during a set and maybe ended doing it 4 times. So it was crazy. They did that joint. They counted it off. They was like, we did 14 last night. We gotta do 15 tonight, and they did it 15 times, yo. That was a crazy concert, but I would say that Ye was the bigger star.
He definitely, he's not the bigger star, but he was for that tour. I mean, he's a better showman than Jay. I mean, he's definitely a better showman than Jay, but they balanced each other out so well. Like they were literally they were I was trying to think of a better, like Mike and Scotty is not even good. Magic and Worthy is not even good. I'm trying to think of the biggest 2 superstars I could think of if they was on the same team.
Right. Curry and Durant.
Question for you.
What's up?
Do we need to watch The Throne too, or do we just let them do another project whenever it's natural?
It has to be natural.
Or do we leave it alone and just rock out and watch the throne?
I don't think we need another Watch the Throne, but I just need them to do songs together, like not necessarily a whole album.
But would you be mad at the EP, like if it was natural, not nothing forced and contrived, but like
if they got together and were cool and they just start making music and they put it out, let's get it.
I need another tour. I need an LP. I need another tour.
I heard that.
I need another tour.
They fucking all kinds of tour money up, yo.
Listen, Tata, Lenny S.
Blame Lenny S for that.
Listen, man. Pass that news along to Jay.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna see something though, man, and it's moments like this that are good because the anticipation of things to come. Like I said, with Jay's tour coming up, it's gonna be exciting. Coming to a city near you. So big shout to those fellas. Big shout to y'all brothers, man. We definitely we set out to talk about this album and various other things that are going on in the news, and we did that. And Jab, you rode with us the whole way, man. We appreciate you staying up late and rocking with us on Tishing and Tape, brother.
Yeah, for my guys, no problem. And I appreciate the invite and
always, fan.
So we're gonna stop this right here. We actually got a few things that we're gonna add post edit. One of the things that we have to give a shout out to, we mentioned Torre earlier. He is a 2-time guest on this show, and he has one of the best songs that's out right now, Young, Gifted, and Black.
Absolutely.
Produced by Praise, featuring Nick Grant and Oh No. And we're gonna play that. And big shout out to Rhapsody too. We mentioned her, but Layla's Wisdom is coming out next week, so we're all excited.
Crown.
Everybody here, Jab, me,
hey.
Phil, Layla's Wisdom. Let's get it, man. We're excited.
I said it on the show. I think somebody laughed at me. I don't know who it was. I before I even hear Layla's Wisdom, I'm saying it. There's no rap. She is, and I don't even like putting the word female in front of her. She's the best female MC, period. I'm saying it before I even hear this. She was that before the last shit she did. She was that. She's better than half of these dudes that's rapping. So go out and support
for a month straight, maybe even 6 weeks straight, every single day.
Go out and support Rhapsody. She is amazing as an artist. Amazing. She killed her set at Made in America.
Did.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna. I'm gonna be disappointed if I don't hear the big homie. I usually try not to hear expectations, but I feel like he needs to be on this album. I have high hopes for it. I try not to put my feelings and emotions into the music. I have high hopes for this because her props that she's finally receiving are long overdue. Man, I'm so happy for her. And yeah, go buy that joint too, man.
Yeah, purchase. Pre-order.
Yeah. Rap, come home. We miss you.
Holla at us.
We miss you. It's been way too long, man. We go all the way back to How to Get Away with Murder, man.
Scandal.
Yes. Yeah.
Man, on that note, man, Phil, take us out with the fader.
You already know, okay, gang. Shout out to my brother Jad. We go back, 20 years. The mighty CHS, Miss Weston's algebra class. Of course, my brother Vod. We go back almost just as long. Class of 97 to the class of 01, 02, and 03 if you was on your Van Wilder at HU. But it's always good to break bread with your brothers, man. Whether it's talking about hip hop or politics or sports or whatever. And that's what we did tonight. So definitely continue to rock with us. We are on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google Play Store. You can find us wherever you, of course, the War Room Sports Podcast Network, Stitcher Radio. We're all over the place. And very, very soon, I promise, tissueandtape.com when it's ready.
Yes, so.
And on that note, one more shout out to Hulu. Thank you. And also for playing Wise Guys. They have a Hulu commercial where they play G-Rap's Wise Guys. So shout out to them for that.
Yeah.
I saw that tonight on Monday Night Football.
I saw that too.
I had to rewind because I wasn't sure what I was really hearing.
On my TV.
Yeah, I thought I like had like hit the button on my computer and my playlist start playing. So yeah, shout out to Hulu and also thank you for Hulu for for your fine donation. And on that note, work for the money, live for the love, and die for what you believe in. This is Tissue and the Tape. Respect heat holders.
Yeah.
Peace.